All right. Hello there. Good evening. My name is Mary Beth. All right. Good evening, everyone. One of those impromptu. Yes. Okay. Good evening, this beautiful Tuesday evening. How are you doing? I hope you had a lovely day. I had quite a busy day. I was up at the National Library today, and I was up and about today, right? I had a good day. All right, so it's another beautiful evening, and these days I like to pop in here and chit chat with you for a few minutes and then run off. All right, so before I start our topic for today, have you pre ordered a copy of Mentor Parents? How to Support Your Child to Find Purpose? It is my latest book, an amazing book. I call it the Parenting Manual. There is a way to support your child. There is definitely an effective way to support your child. What we do is we parent our children. Sometimes we are lost when it comes to how to really support them effectively. And that's because there is a way that you can actually support your child effectively. And we have brought you solutions in this book. This book is going to take you on a journey through how you can support the dependent state of your child's life. The first phase of purpose, that phase where children are still dependent on us to train their habits, to help them gain skills, to help them gain skills that will help them navigate the world. That point where they still need that secure attachment, the point that they need to build their confidence, the point that they need to build trust, the point that they need to create a perception of the world. All this happens in the dependable state of your child's phase of your child's purpose. The point where your child needs to identify who he is. He needs to know who he or she is. Who am I? Like, who am I? Okay, the time that point that they need to come to terms with their personality. The child needs to come to terms with who he or she is, right? That phase of the child's life. Okay, the point where your child needs to embody, your child needs to carry himself with a sense of with a knowledge of sense of who he or she is. Now, that phase is the dependable phase, and that is the phase. Hi, Abibo, it's good to see you. All right. So that phase of the child's life, that's where we are focused on. Right. Good to see you, sir. All right. So that's the phase that we're focused on. So in this book, we have gone through the different things that you need to pay attention to and how you can help your children during this phase of their lives. So no, the book is not full of instructions like do this, do that, do that. No, the book is full of stories where you will pick your lessons from. So you will laugh and you will smile and you will just lie down there and be engrossed, and yet you are picking parenting lessons that you can apply in your unique situation. So it's an amazing book, and it's a pack. It's a pack that has the parent version and then the child's version. Now the child's version is my 11-year-old's account, his first decade account of the process. We love the process in my home. We love the process. We talk about the process a lot because we have taught the children that it is not as much of the result as it is of the process. Okay, when you are invested in the process, your results will come together and your results will be results that you will be happy with and results that you can own because it is you in the process. Okay, so the process is very, very important. So guess what? That pre-order for this book ends in 2 days. It actually ends on Thursday. It was supposed to end tomorrow, being the last day of the month. But because we have Hangout on Thursday, we have our live broadcast our Thursday live broadcast, we just said, you know something, let's just leave it till Thursday, since Thursday is an important day for us in the community. So you have up to Thursday to pre-order this book for 4,500 naira. You can pre-order the both books for 4,500 naira. After that, the both books will go for 6,500 naira. So why pay more when you can pay less? I mean, a lot of times when people pre-order this book, or when they see this book, or when they call to ask me about this book, the question they ask is it 4,500 for the both books? The books are that cheap, right? Is it 4,000 because they're both standard books? Okay, it's not like it's not like a handbook or something like that. They're both standard books. So people always ask me, and then if you know me, my books are always quality. I mean, the quality is always, can always be guaranteed, right? So yes, you need to hurry and pre-order this book like right away. All right. So today I want to talk to you about what you need to know. Okay, some things you need to know. There's certain things we need to know as parents. Okay, certain things we need to know. So one of the things you need to know that I want to talk to you today about is the fact that your child is looking up to you. Your child is depending on you. Your child is looking up to you. Your child is depending on you. Your child will do a lot of things because your child sees you do those things. Okay, your child will be a lot of what you are. So it's very important that you know as a parent that your child is depending on you, that your child is depending on you to guide them to navigate the world. Your child is looking to you to help them develop, their character, and to help them train habits that will help them navigate the world. Your child is looking up to you to help them through their process. And the process is very, very important. Okay, so let me take us through just one process today and how, so that we can see. Hi, Chidima, it's good to see you. So let's just go through one process today so that we'll see how important the process is. Okay, so I was speaking with a friend today when I went to pick my son from school just today. We're talking, and we're talking about how, results. I was talking about results and the reason why children are in school. So if you know me by now, you should know that I am homeschooling one of my kids, and one of my kids is in school. All right, so my son is in his last year in elementary school, and so my daughter is just in year one, and that's the one that I homeschool. So she was trying to find out why my daughter isn't in school, and I had my reasons. Okay, I told her I'm training certain habits, and for me, when we get to the point and some things need to be done, when we have a goal, okay, we look for the best strategy to train that goal. And if at the time homeschooling is the best strategy to train that habit, or to train the habit that we're looking at for time, then the child will be homeschooled. All right. So I was trying to make her understand. I was trying to, we're talking, right? And I said to her, the thing is, the reason why our children go to school, or the reason why they do certain things in school, or certain subjects in school, or the whole reason of the academic aspect of education is being neglected a lot of the times. So for instance, I was saying to her, now it's not as if when children walk on the street, right, they're going to see like Pythagoras theory, and they have to apply it in their everyday life per se. Okay, it's not as if when the children go out there, right, they're going to see, they're going to have to, apply all those things in chemistry and in physics and in all of that. Now, are we saying that all these subjects are not important? Absolutely no, they are very important. But hey, the child that is interested in music, the child that is interested in drama, probably doesn't need to know Pythagoras theory, or doesn't need to know physics or chemistry, isn't it? Now, if we are able to identify, if we're able to work with the children from the very beginning and help them identify their interests and and places where their strengths are, Perhaps they won't have to do Pythagoras theory and all of these other things. Maybe that. Maybe it is important that they still do it anyway. Now, why is it important that they still do it anyway? Because while they are doing math and language arts and physics and chemistry, they are supposed to build, they're supposed to develop skills. Now, it is the process. Education is concerned about the process. We're the ones that forget the process a lot of the times. So this is it. Your child is sitting down to a math task. The idea is that your child is able to take on that task on his own. So the child is able to reason, okay, this is the question. So first of all, your child is supposed to read the question and understand that question. Comprehension skill is being developed right there. So while the child reads and understands the question, that means your child is training comprehension, or comprehension skill is being developed. Now, when the child finishes with that, the child now decides on the best approach or the best method to tackle that concept or to tackle that question. At that point, decision making is going on, and your child is making informed choices as to what to use. Of all the approaches that are possible or all the approaches that are available, the child is making up his mind as for which one to use and tackle this problem. Problem solving skill is being enhanced at this point. So the child picks a method and the child begins to solve. As the child solves that problem, he gets to a point and he gets stuck. He doesn't know what to, he gets stuck right there, trying to figure out what to do next. The ability to stay on and try another approach is the child building staying power. The child is being able to stay on. What's that skill called? It's called what's it called? Oh, somebody give it to me. What's it called? It's called your ability to stay on task, right? What is it called again? Oh, okay, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember why I'm talking, right? My son is not here. So the ability to stay on task. What's the ability to stay on task? No, apart from focus, ability to turn, like you're not giving up, you're staying on the resilience. God bless you, son. So your child, the child cannot understand it, and he cannot, he's trying to figure out, he's getting frustrated, but he's not closing his book and walking away. He's staying on and looking for a solution. That is resilience being built right there. So why is that it? Your child is able to say to you, excuse me, mom, could you come here for a minute? Or your child is able to come to you with that problem, okay, and say, okay, I'm struggling with this. I really do not get it. At that point, your child is able to recognize and accept the fact that he or she needs help and is able to ask for help. That on its own is a skill. Okay, so those two on their own are skills. The ability to recognize that you have a problem and then go ahead and ask for help in that, with that problem. Now, the child, the idea is not for you to solve the problem with or for the child. The idea is for you to direct the child towards the solution. Like, okay, let's look at it together. Look again and see. Is there a number you're missing? Is there something you're skipping? Do you want to go back and look at the formula? Is your formula right? Have you applied this? Did you use BODMAS? Did you do this first? Did you do that first? At that point, right, you are supporting the child. And then the child takes the task and goes back and looks at it again. He goes back to the task. That is resilience. That is staying power. That is not giving up, isn't it? So your child goes back, and then that is focus. These are the skills that the children are building along the line while they are approaching that math question. And so he stays on, and voila, he gets the answer or whatever. He gets to the point he's satisfied with the work that he has put in. Now, that is your child building confidence. I mean, he gets to the point, and then he finally, he finally gets to that point, and he's like, good, I got it, and all of that. At that point, he becomes pumped. I mean, there are chemicals in his body, right? That his body, I mean, his pituitary glands will produce immediately that happy feeling and all of that, knowing that you have achieved something. So your child at that point is able to feel that, that the surge of achievement, and that is where confidence and self-esteem is built from. Now, this is the process. So yes, this is what education, this is the aim of education. This is the idea behind education. That why our children are doing some of these things that they necessarily would not need in the future. They are able to learn other skills while they are on track trying to achieve this thing that they probably would not need. So why your child that is going to be a dancer, he has to pass maths. Why your child that is going to be your child that is going to be a fashion designer probably has to stay on. It's because she will measure at some point and all of that. Hey, in the meantime, it's because there are tons and tons of skills that should be learned while you try to solve while you try to solve basic math in school. Now, this is what we do as parents. This is what we do as educators. This is what we do as caregivers. We jump the process. We are not interested in the process because we do not understand the reason for education, because we are not informed. So what is important to us is the beginning and the results. So we are more focused on the beginning and on the results. So this is what the outcome. So this is what happens. We get the kids to school. They go to school, and then when they get to school, the teacher is more concerned about the child's grade. So the teacher gives the child 5 problems, and the child gets 1 out of 5, and the teacher is obsessed with the child. What happened to you? I mean, it depends on where your child is. So, in parenting, we take responsibility for everything. So I say we are a function of our experiences and the environment that we find ourselves. And as a parent, the environment where your child finds themselves is your responsibility. So I always say to parents, we are responsible for the outcomes in our child's life, because it is the experiences that we have created for them as children and the people that we allowed to get access to them. So the neighbors are the people you allowed access to your child. The school are the people that you allowed access to your child. Their friends are the people you allowed access to your child, because by and large, all these people that have access to your child is because of what you have allowed or what you have provided. Your child is in that city because you decided to be in that city. Your child is in that school because you said so. The child has that friend online because you provided the gadget. Blah, blah, blah. I still feel, as it provided our children are still children, provided we are still within that frame of parenting. Okay, they are still within those years where you're supposed to parent them. We are to take total responsibility for the outcomes in their life. I don't care what you want to say. So when your child becomes 20 and 21 and they do stuff, okay, we can begin to separate you a little from it, but we can't really separate us totally from it, because, hey, our children are the product of our parenting. They are. The moment we begin to look at it that way as parents, we will not take any of this as a trivial thing. This is the reason I wake up this every morning and I am charged, because I have said to myself, my children's outcome is going to be the product of my parenting. So I'm going to put 150% if I have to. So by the time I do that, I put 150%. Of course, I begin with God and I leave it. In the process, I am with God. I begin with God. In the process, I am with God. And at the end, when I'm done parenting, I say to God, I have done my part, Lord. Take over, as in just take over. You've always been there from the beginning. Just help me be with this child. But then again, I can go to sleep knowing that I put in my 100%, right? So beautiful. So basically, as I was saying, Okay, so it's the people that we allow access into their lives and all of that. So by and large, it is what it is. Okay, so I was still talking about the process, right? So I was still talking about the process. So we now focus on the outcome. We focus on the beginning at the outcome. So the beginning is you take them to school A. When they get to school A, you notice, okay, they are coming 10th and 15th in their class, okay? And then you come, maybe the child used to be in the used to be in early years. And in early years, that point where they are just drawing and playing and all of that, the child was doing very well. And then the child gets to say year one, and then all of a sudden your child is not top in the class. So you go for this speech, you go for this honor roll, or you go for the what end of year or end of term ceremony, and other people's children got all the prizes and all the awards and all of that, and then you get upset. Within you're upset. How come this is my very brilliant child and all that? So the next time you don't come back to that school, parenting ego pushing you. The next time you don't come back to that school, you move the child to school B, the beginning. Now, after you get to school B, you're already looking at the end. You're just waiting to see what the results is going to be like. So at the end of the day, in school B, end of term, the child happens to win the best student in phonics or best child in arithmetic. Bam, that is it. We found the best place. This is it, because you are focused on the outcomes. You're focused on the end, and you do not care about the process. So the process is what is important, because it is in the process that habits are created. It's in the process that character is being built. It's in the process that your child will build confidence. It is in the process that your child's self-esteem is being boosted. It's in the process that your child will learn to trust you. It's in the process that your child will get mentorship. It is in the process that your child will get a sense of who they are. So we cannot stifle the process. So every time you are yelling at your child while your child is learning, you're stifling the process. Every time you are beating your child for not doing well in school, you are stifling the process. Every time you are shouting and yelling for your child to do homework or anything like that, you are stifling the process. You are supposed to be supporting the process. You're supposed to be helping your child build these skills, because that is what math and English and science and geography, that is what they were created for, to help your child build stamina, to help your child develop and grow in the process. So what we are actually supposed to do is we're supposed to find out at every point where our children are struggling, where they're struggling, and what we're supposed to do is offer help for each of these phases. Offer the help that makes our children understand, most importantly, that hey, honey, you're not getting it right now. Okay, you need to sit down. Let's look at why we are not getting it. Okay, let's look at why we're not getting it, or why you are not getting it, so that we can support you in that area. When you begin to think that way, your child will begin to trace what it is. Is it like I don't see well in class? Because sometimes the dynamics are crazy. The things that our children, the reason behind why our children struggle are things that if we even get to the root of, we feel bad for ourselves. Okay, so sometimes it's a child that probably is having a bit of trouble seeing clearly, and then the teacher consistently puts the child behind the class. So the child is looking at the screen and the letters are dancing. So he just loses interest. It could be a child that has been shamed at some point where he's trying. So he was shamed at that point, and then after that, he just loses interest because he was shamed and he's not been able to pick himself. And so at that point where he was still sulking inwardly because he had been shamed, there was a gap created in his academics or in his education. And so the child, because the child is struggling with this all by himself, the child is not able to bridge that gap on his own. And so he loses the middle and then loses there. And before you know it, he begins to struggle to catch up. So if we have conversations with our children, or if we are interested in the process, we will find out that we will know when there's a problem. I've told the story about how there was the year, I think it was in year 3 or year 4, that I practically said to myself, I needed to know where my son was. Okay, I needed to know that he was doing these things on his own and that he was driving these things on his own. And I just stepped back. We drew a plan, we drew our routine, we drew his schedule and all of that. And then he had a wristwatch and a timer on his wristwatch that just reminds him. Okay, so for the first few weeks, I mean, for a long time, okay, there are times that he would remember. There are times that he will miss it. There are times that he will be in one task and then it's time for the next thing and he's still on that task. There are times he goes out to play and then he plays on and on. And it's 6 o'clock, 10 minutes to 6 for him to come in and get ready for his study time. And he's having so much fun. And then he's there for like 10, 20 minutes later. At those, times like that, it just simply means that the child hasn't mastered it on his own yet. So what do you want to do? You probably want to pass and be like, I think it's 6 o'clock. I don't know what someone is still doing here. That's a reminder. And he goes like, oh my God, it is. And then he runs in and then the process continues. Okay? Other times you just want to look at him. You're still playing. Now, wow. And then it causes him to turn and then look at his time or something. What are we doing to help our children succeed as opposed to what are we doing to help our children fail? Sometimes we particularly set our children up for failure. Like you know that, okay, the child is supposed to be doing this thing right now. The child isn't doing it. And then you're there, you refuse to remind the child because you are just waiting hard. Let this child not do this thing today. What I will do to him? Because I've told him 10 times. I've told him 20 times and all that. So you're waiting. So the moment, he just falls into the trap. So you get ready and then you satisfy the thing. The thing that's been burning in you. You satisfy that urge in you to suppress another human being. That is simply what it is. So the moment we begin to look at it as the process and not the outcome, we will do everything to help our children master their process. So we will give them the opportunity to try. We will step back and not do everything for them, but we will become the people who give them the soft reminders, who create a system in our homes where our children can navigate things or do things on their own. We just become the reminder, like the alarm clock. Come on. Even as adults, as good as you are, as excellent or perfect as you are, you still set your alarm to wake you in the morning. Why don't you show that? You have come full cycle. You've come full circle in your life, and then you know everything, and then you go to sleep every day, and then wake up. What do you call it? Depend only on your body clock to wake you, or whatever they call it. Depend on it alone to wake you up every day. There will be days that you will fail, or there will be days that you will go to work late. So we still set alarms. Those alarms are to, help us. There are systems in place to help us. So that's the same thing we need to do with our children. We need to set systems in place to help our children succeed. And these systems are our routines. These systems are our schedules. These systems are our soft reminders that we do or we offer in love. The system is us standing back and allowing our children try so that they can understand that they have the ability to do these things. When they know that they have the ability to do these things, they want to keep trying because there's a good feeling that comes with when you achieve. We all know this. All right, people, so this is it. I just wanted to come here and talk about the process today and remind us that the pre-order for my mentor parents and baby steps, all right, ends in 2 days, on Thursday precisely. You can still get these 2 amazing parenting journal, parenting, what do you call it? I like to call it, right? This manual, right? Parenting manual, I like to call it that. Okay, you can still get this amazing parenting manual for just 4,500 naira, your copy and your child's copy. You can still get them for just 4,500 if you order today and tomorrow. By Thursday, at the end of Thursday, it will be 6,500 naira because that is actually what the book is worth and more. All right, so thank you very much. Thank you, Abibo. I see you. Thank you, Chidima. Thank you for others who joined. Okay, thank you very much. Have a lovely, lovely evening. Bye. Somebody says she likes me with my hair. More with my hair than with the wigs. Do you have the same? Do you think so too? Let me know in the comments. Vain me, right? Sorry. All right, people, I gotta go. Have a lovely evening. Bye. Bye bye. Oh, and for your structure, we still have the structure guide, the guide that helps you create structures in your home. Please order. You can just check in our websites and just click there and place your order, and you will have it. Amazing resource, by the way. Have a lovely evening. Bye.